Okay. Our guest now is Ryan Sanders. He's a Democrat, and he's running for.
United States House of Representatives.
All right, there you go. So, Ryan, what can you tell us about why you're running for it? We'll start off with you. I know we have some questions. Tell us about yourself. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure, sounds good.
Okay.
Well, why don't I start at the beginning? I was born and raised in York County. I'm a 10th generation Central Pennsylvanian. My family moved here in the 1750s, and we stayed here ever since. I grew up on a small farm down by in New Bridgeville by the river, and I went to Red Line High School. From Red Line, I graduated from Dickinson College with a degree in international relations, and I went to Syracuse where I got a master's in international relations. I went to D.C. after I graduated. I worked in D.C. for quite a few years, 6 years, and before I moved back home, and I started my own business when I got home. My brother and I have a business that's a computer consulting company, and we do some real estate investment. So that's my background, where I'm from, why I'm here, and I've been here ever since. This is home.
So what can you tell us? Why did you decide to run for the U.S. House of Representatives? What brought that on?
Well, I decided to run because I think since 2008, we all have noticed a change with the economy and some concerns that we're not necessarily getting the representation that we need. We're not getting the answers we need to improve the jobs, the economy, the access to health care that we need as a community. And the concern that I have is that I didn't see it coming through for the working families and for the small business owners who are important for us. There's the ones, small businesses, the ones who create jobs, and the working families are the ones who work in those jobs. Without that support,
I heard him.
we cannot complete our job. So this is why I'm running, because it's important for us to get that representation. We need the leadership that will get us the jobs and will get us the back on track.
So now you don't think that we're being represented right in Congress? That's what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay, why?
I think everybody will agree that Todd Platts is a very good man and a great family man. What I'm concerned about is that we don't see the solutions. We don't see the jobs coming through. We don't see, we see a lot of good talk, but we don't see a lot of across the board communication. And a lot of this, as much as I agree with Todd that we need to reach across the aisle, I haven't seen a lot of that from Todd and his partisan, his friends across the aisle.
Yeah, I was wondering, okay, then did this thing where we'll say, well, they got, that's why I was asked about the call a party of no, the Republican Party. It seems like whatever the president proposes, they seem to go against it. What do you think is going on there?
Quite honestly, I think what it is, it's tactics. This is an important issue for the 2010 elections. Everybody wants to get reelected. And the most important thing we need to focus on is not getting elected. It's what does our constituent need? And sometimes getting reelected is not the end result. Sometimes you need to focus on what's best for the community. And that's what I see some of the tactics being taken. And this is, I'm not going to say this is all Republicans' fault. This is Democrats and Republicans alike. The issue is we need to focus on what our people need and not on what the communication needs.
It'll be on.
Go ahead. I hear Jamie just told me what the problem was. All right. So you don't think that the Republican Party is working with the president, or you think they're just going against everything he does?
I think it's about elections. It's about power, and it's about control.
About power. What do you think about the health care package that the president put out?
I think the health care package was a good start. Unfortunately, the bill itself and the law now does not do enough to control costs. We haven't. One of the best thing we did about it was that now 30 million people are now covered who were not covered in the past. And I know for a fact that this is a serious concern. I've spent 2 years without health insurance myself, and when you don't have insurance, every step you take, you worry and you wonder, and that's something that nobody should have to go through. So the coverage is a great thing. The problem that we have to deal with is cost. And that the bill, because there was too much fighting and not enough communication across the aisle, we ended up just letting the cost control issue fall by the wayside.
Well, it's always going to be a cost when you're saying the main thing that you do, isn't it? We've already got a big cost before we had it, didn't it? So if we go back and look at the Depression, there was costs incurred no matter what to stop it. What the president was saying is taking a long time to straighten out these things. But the way I'm understanding that he was being contacted by thousands of people to push the health care package because of so many people that were dying.
Yes.
Because they didn't have it. So what do? You got 6 in one, half a dozen the other.
Yes.
So you let so many people die, say, because of the cost. So is it saying that, is our representative saying that we're coming down to how much we're worth? Is it because we don't want to spend money, so therefore you have to die till we can get some money in, till we get more money in? Is that what you would think that they would be saying? That's the reason why they fought against that?
No, I don't think that's it. Nobody wants.
But it sounds that way.
It does. It can certainly sound that way. But nobody wants to see anyone die because of cost. But
well,
at the end of the day, this is one thing we all have to come to grips with. At the end of the day, all of us have to pass, and we have to. You can spend an innumerable amount of money trying to live forever, and this is not going to happen. We've seen stories.
This is why I was wondering, because I mean, the other side said the same thing. They didn't want to see people die, but yet, if you didn't do what you're doing to stop it, they are going to die.
Right.
Regardless of the money, and the money is still going to be spent. And the people a lot of times call the show talking about how much we owe China and how much in debt we are. And they say, what if China's all saying we want all our money?
Yeah, well, that won't happen. But
I know. And they're buying up so much of our properties here. They're trying to say the Chinese owe so many of our buildings and stuff. Can we buy them? But I don't know. I mean, what other things can you tell us about? What are the 3 key issues for your district, in a way?
Well, for us, I think the 3 keys is jobs, 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 and jobs, and jobs. The focus for our what we need right now is employment.
Okay.
The last time I checked, I think we were 9.5% unemployment rate in York County.
How do you think that we're going to go about creating more employment? Because that's the big question that people want to know.
Yes. Well, the first thing we need to do is start communicating with each other.
Okay.
Second thing we need to do is develop the leadership we need to bring the resources to bear to create that opportunity. The government cannot create jobs on its own. The government can create the opportunity for businesses, small businesses in particular, to grow their jobs. As a small business owner, and this is one thing that I know, healthcare costs, taxes, those burdens prevent me from hiring additional people.
Okay.
I know for a fact if I didn't have the burden of my healthcare, I could hire an additional person at my company. And that is it's a fact, and every small business person will tell you that. So the job of the government is to minimize cost so that small businesses, which create 65% of all new employment in the country, those are the places we need to be supporting. And that means, I'm sorry to interrupt there.
No, go ahead.
That means we need to create increased access to credit.
Okay.
One of the biggest difficulties a small business has is getting access to growth, cash, because they're a new business. Most are either they're small, they're new, or they can't get the resources they need.
Okay.
And that's the government's job, is to make sure that pathway is simplified.
Okay. Because then the question, no, I'm trying to give you the question.
Yeah.
I hope I can give you questions that you weren't prepared for.
They're great.
Okay.
No, I love questions.
Because I'm always been concerned with the back and forth, and I'm trying to understand both sides. I'm not taking any side, but I'm just looking for answers to, if our country's in such bad shape. I cannot understand why the other side, they say bipartisan, but I'm not seeing it, and that's what I'm not understanding. I thought our president, from what I was seeing, I don't understand, quite know it, it looked like he called the Republican Party and got together and tried to work things. Even in the health care package, where it was about 7 different things from the Republican side, he added in there, and they still voted against the bill.
Yep.
Well,
do you know that the health care bill itself, well, if you look back to 1993, that bill was identical to the law that was just passed today. So a lot of the health care debate was about politics. It wasn't about whether you agree or disagree, because the Republican Party presented that as the alternative to the Bill Clinton health care plan in 93.
And in your opinion, I guess, I'm sure you followed it, why do you think they fight so hard against not wanting that to go through? That's what I'm trying to understand. Why did they battle so hard?
Honestly, I don't understand it. The only thing I can see is that it's a control issue. It's who's going to get the power to run the Congress and who's going to get presidency. So if Barack Obama fails, then we as Republicans can get control. I don't see any other solution. Now, there are definitely, now this is something we have to make clear.
Right.
It's not about, we want to have a conversation about, yes, there is not, this health care bill wasn't perfect.
Okay.
There are things we can do to improve it.
Well, I know the
we wanted to
president
have
said
that conversation.
Yeah, the president said that.
That's where we